What's up, guys? This is Juancho, bringing you guys another video from online last night. I had a really good session last night. I final tabled 3 tournaments, won 2 of them actually. One was a 10K guaranteed, and one was a 3K guaranteed. One of them paid a little over 2,000, and the other one paid $910. So it was a really good day for me. In this final table, actually, we were heads up, and I've learned that heads up actually is a complete different game from regular ring games, or even four-handed, five-handed. It is so different, and I actually didn't feel like I was good at it. I had to play a lot of heads up. I had to practice a lot of hyper turbos, a lot of heads up, cash and sit and goes in order for me to get better at it. And I played this hand. We're pretty even in chips at this point. I think that right here I'm rise and grind, and I had 366,000, and he had 293,000 with the blinds 4 and 8,000. So it was super close in terms of chips, and I think this spot is kind of what gave me the confidence to take off and win the tournament here. And I just wanted to show you guys and see what you guys thought and maybe commented on it. 800 ante, 4 and 8,000 blinds. I'm on the bottom. I'm pretty much going to open with just about any playable hand here. I will fold the junk hands. I don't want to limp, and you will never see me limp. I'm going to always try to come in with the same raise, the same I'm going to min raise. I'm not going to change my raises depending on my hands. I'm always going to be pretty consistent with how I play a hand, whether I have aces, whether I have 7 high. I think that's super important. And I came and min raised that, and I got 3-bet actually to 20,000 more. I actually decided to go ahead and call in position here. I think a hand like Jack 10 plays really well. It definitely could be a dominated hand. However, heads up, I think that your range can be a little more open, especially when you're in position in the hand. I decided to flat here, and we go see the flop. And the flop ends up being King 9-3 2 spades. I have no spade in my hand, so basically I flopped a gut shot. An offsuit queen would give me the nuts. Obviously I have queen of spades for a dirty out and 3 outs for true outs. And I decided he bet 30,000 basically, which is roughly below half pot. And I actually decided to float. For those of you that are not familiar with floating, floating basically means that I'm not trying to hit my queen, for the record. I'm not. Actually, I'm looking for scare cards to come out on the board, like a spade or board, cards that make straight. Maybe a jack or a 10 actually would be a good card, even if that gives me a pair. But definitely straight cards or flush or spade flush draw cards would actually be good scare cards. And I'm looking to float here to try to win the pot in a later street. And I decide to peel one off and just call. I don't want to raise here just in case I get jammed on. I'm just gonna float here and see what the action is on the turn. The turn is an interesting card. It's an offsuit ace. Obviously I still have nothing, and this is a card that either could scare him or could make his hand if he was actually betting with ace high. He, interestingly enough, checks, and on this spot I'm kind of afraid that if I am gonna bet the turn, I'm gonna get check raised, and now I can't call or continue with the hand. So I had already made up my mind that I was gonna somehow win the pot on the river, and I decided to check behind. And the river is kind of a perfect card. Now the ace peels off in case he didn't have an ace. The flush gets there. A 3 gets there for bottom pair. I think that this is the perfect card to continue. If he bets, I already made up my mind depending what his sizing was. I would have shoved all in. If his sizing was small, I would have just raised, maybe jammed anyway. But to my surprise, he checks, and I decide to bet. And when I bet, I think it's very important right here that you guys understand that to begin with, I had a plan to win the pot on a later street. Had I gotten called over here, I would have been completely fine with my decision. I made a play, I made a conscious decision to win the pot on a later street. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But he had to have something to call me here with. And that river card is perfect, the turn card is perfect. There's a lot of things that I can represent that I was able to raise. I call a 3-bet preflop with, and I decided to bet pretty big actually. I bet 2/3 of the pot, 90,000 basically. And now he can't really shove in without a hand. He has to, and he can't really call without any showdown value either. So he either has to give up on the hand, and I have to follow through with it. I see a lot of people attempting this play, but then not following through with it. And I think that bottom line is you must have a plan. You have to have a plan for this hand. And I decided to bet 2/3 pot, and he folded. And I was really happy with that because that pot now gave me full control of the situation. Now I was playing with, let's see, 300 and basically 33,000 in chips, and now he had 226. And after this, I just ran him over. It was actually I think a crucial pot for me to win with nothing, jack high. I mean, maybe I hadn't beat, maybe I was bluffing with the best hand, but that's not the point. The point is that I had a plan and I followed through with it. I had already made up my mind if he bet the river, I was gonna jam, and I was already made up my mind that no matter what card, if any skirt card came out, if the board ran out dry, there was a good chance I would have given up in the hand. But once the skirt card come out, I have to get in there and represent, especially when I floated on the flop with nothing. And you have to be able to have a plan. Always have a plan. And that is basically the basic instruction for today. Heads up, it's way different. I hope this helps. I hope you guys understand that. And let's comment on this and let's get the instruction rolling. Okay? Best of luck at the tables, guys. I am on my way to a game on the south side of town. I'm going to play for a little bit, and then tomorrow I leave for Evansville to play the MSPT main event. Okay.